Hey everyone, so been a little bit, gonna pop on here and do a new craft. Well, not really new because I've done UV resin, of course, quite a bit. It's a little cold in my craft space, so that is the best scenario, is to do some UV resin because we use the light. So that will actually be fine in this kind of weather. We don't have to worry about it being too chilly in here because the light's going to take care of curing it, and I don't have to be concerned that the temperature is off in here. So I am going to be making some earrings. First thing I'm doing is I'm getting my UV resin tape. I just need a pair of scissors. And I am going to use my plastic stir sticks just to help hold that tape in place. And I'm going to do 2 strips, one on each end. I don't really need them to connect, and you'll see why. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Gonna have a safe New Year. Bringing in 24. I cut that one a little long, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. And you might see that I've got fingerprints on it. I'm not really worried about that. Just don't want that one to be all wavy. Okay, there we go. Yay. Then I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just gonna actually get my camera to view the better way so that y'all can, in editing it's a little bit better. Sorry, random thought. So I got these at Hobby Lobby. They're called teardrop hoops that open. Yes, maybe so that's easier to put the earring feature on it. No? I don't know. They open right here. I guess so that you could do beads on it, I suppose. I thought they were a little bit different than this, but that's okay. We're gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna do 2 of them. I'm gonna put them directly on the resin tape. And I'm gonna try to press them down to where the metal is pretty well sealed. And I'm gonna do 2 of these. I got these at Hobby Lobby too. That one is in a thicker plastic. That other one was much easier to rip into. They are called Turkish chandeliers, and I always catch them at their 50% off sale whenever they're having 50% off in their jewelry section. So do not pay full price for these at all. They worked out to be, well, shoot, the Turkish chandeliers, so these, which are super cute, ended up being $1.50, and then the teardrops were originally $5, so they were $2.50. And you get a whole bunch, so it's not like you don't get a ton. Alright, so we are going to, and I did the same thing, press those down. Then I got these cute, I got these off of Amazon. These cute flowers. They're dried already. Look at these, so pretty. So we're gonna make some earrings and have some fun with them. I'm gonna open them carefully so I don't smush them. I'm not gonna pour them onto this side because that's still really sticky, so I'm gonna pour where they come out the non-sticky side and just pour them into our, oh, or all over the workspace. Pour them into my container for that. You know, it's fun. I'm going to have a little pair of tweezers. I'm still organizing my craft space. I swear I organize like 10,000 ways, and oh, see, I have tweezers right there. 10,000 ways up and down, and I do things constantly, and then I redo them, and then I do them again. So you see me struggling to find something? That's why. Alright, counterculture, DIY, UV resin. If you watch my other videos, you know that I don't wear gloves when I'm doing this part because it's really relatively mess free. So I am just doing a nice, real thin layer inside of the space. And I'm going to do 2 different ways and see which way comes out better on this. So I'll show you what I mean by that. And these have like a loop up there at the top, kind of a jump ring. You could add probably like something dangling. You could do these probably as half and then add a little danglement thing, but I'm just going ahead and doing them all the way. And yes, we have some bubbles. It's okay. We will get them out. And doing the same here, just spreading. You could put it in a cup and then transfer it with a tool. You might get less bubbles that way potentially, but not really concerned because I know I'll pop all of them. And then I'm just making sure I've got to the edges so that I don't, like right there has a little gap. I'm not sure if it was big enough to be able to see. And I overflowed a little bit right there. I'm not like overly concerned because I can always, that's stuck. I can always sand it or grind it down if I needed to. That big one I was able to just pop it right out. These little ones are going to definitely take a little blade. And there's a hair in that one. So hold that out. Hardest part when you are working on the UV tape is that I tend to stick to it. I stick my fingers on it to help give me like space, and then I stick to it. These are further in, so I'm going to have to get them shifted to the front so that I don't burn this completely. So I'm just taking my tool and basically just running it through the resin and pulling those up. You could try to take a little rubbing alcohol and spritz these, but UV resin is pretty sensitive to the alcohol, so I try not to use that when I'm doing the UV resin. Yes, it's perfect for getting bubbles and micro bubbles when you're working with resin, 2-part resin that you're pouring, but UV resin is so sensitive to things that you add to it that what I see happen for people is that they end up, there's another hair, and I have a paper towel. I don't know if it's in the video, but I do have a paper towel over there that I'm using to just wipe that off when I pull a hair out. Oh, I went a little close. There's just this stubborn bubble. But what I see happen, oh my, that's not good. Okay, recoverable. Yep, we spilled a little here, but again, I'm just going to bring it back in. I'm going to add that little bit there. But what I'll see happen with that, adding the alcohol to it, it thins it and then makes it very runny, and then it doesn't cure properly. So Don't want that. All right. So here's what we're going to do. A little different on each one. One where you're going to build basically the front to the back so that the back will be on top. And then the other we are going to build where we're making it that this side that we're working on is the front, and then we'll flip it and do that other side as the back. So just a little bit variation. I'm going to see what works better. I don't know what will work better. I just am going to play around. So this one I'm putting the flower to where its back is to the back. So this one will be our one that we build this way. And I only needed a thin layer in there just to kind of get to where I can put these flowers in. I like this color combo a lot. And I'm not worried just yet about like getting the resin up and over it, because I know that I'm going to have to build some resin over these, and that's fine. And I'll work on that, obviously, but I'm not concerned about it at this stage, because more than anything, I'm just wanting to get my flowers in place. And I'm just trying to find one that matches pretty closely. You know, they're an earring set, so you would want something sort of similar in style. Obviously, with art, it's not going to be exact. I'm going to put the purple flower on this side. And then a teal. Okay. There we go. That's pretty, but I think I want this one right here. Maybe. These are a little thicker than I anticipated, but we're just gonna have to go with it. This one I'm gonna, oh yeah, we're gonna build this one backwards. So we're gonna put, the other side is going to be our front. So we are, basically what I am doing is then putting them upside down so that the other side is the front side. Just something a little different. And we'll see which way we like the best. That's a pretty big one, so I kind of need another. Not a big one, maybe? Oh yeah. Apparently my eyesight's not very good. I'm not having a good eye-hand coordination to grabbing those, but we'll get it. We get it. It's coming. Oh, look at these pretty blue ones. I'll make sure I find another one kind of similar. Maybe this one would be better. I hope I put you the right way. I won't get you. Oh. Right here. Yeah, it's the right way. Okay. I'm going to clean my tweezers off just so that I don't mess with that. That's pretty close. Oh, it might have been backwards, but that's okay. That one has like a little stem on him. Probably won't find another one like that. That's okay. I've always heard doing odd numbers, so that's what I'm going to do. He went right where I was wanting him to. Other than he went the wrong direction as far as laying. Okay, there we go. Whew. Got him. Okay. So, now that I have that created, I'm going to slide this into our Let's Resin Light. And because it is dual-sided, it's going to get both our front and our back, which is awesome. And then we will continue to build resin up on them. So, that will be fun. The other thing, I figured, because I have to stay somewhat busy when I'm waiting for that because it just will drive me crazy, is I want to do this mold of earrings. And you actually can do 2 earrings. So that's pretty exciting. I'm going to grab some masking tape because the mold has got stuff in it. I've never used this mold, but it's picked up lint and just things that lying on the table or in the workspace, it's just gotten kind of gross. So to keep our mold clear, basically you just take a little masking tape and that will help clean that right up. I was thinking of something and I don't know what I was thinking, but it's okay. So same exact thing. I'm just going to put a thin layer. And I'm doing this just a little away from my light because I don't want this to start curing before I put it under the light. I'm wanting to make sure that I have opportunity to do what I want to with it. And this is a UV mold from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember, probably paid $2-ish, $3-ish bucks for it. And it's specifically designed for UV light so that the light can penetrate. Certain molds are not designed for UV light just because if it's a colored mold, the UV will not penetrate through that mold. So you want to use a special mold for that. And I know the other is ready, but we'll let that kind of keep setting up on them while I get this one ready to go under. Now, lots and lots of bubbles. And I'm going to have to be careful to not burn the mold, just because I have that resin so deep in those crevices. Pull these bubbles up and out of here. And the latter is truthfully what I have found is the best with UV resin. It's gonna help pop them. But you do not want to put the flame directly on it. You could light your resin on fire. Not a cool thing to do. I don't want y'all having fires in your craft space. Alrighty. So, this one, I'm probably going to just kind of, I guess I'm going to go this direction with this one. The big one's on the outside. And basically, I'm just, again, grabbing flowers. And I'm doing this one where I'm building from the back, so I flipped it so the front is facing the table. Although some of these are just not wanting to lay that way, but that's okay. And I'm not going to do any like special pattern of colors. I'm just honestly going to kind of make it natural as can be. Now I am matching them. So as you can see, when I do what I do over here, I do there. I am doing that as far as patterning sense, but as far as like, I'm going to go white, red, teal, blue, I'm not going to do that. I'm just grabbing it random. That one really is struggling to lay in there, but it's just going to have to be. You're going to have to get in here. Just trying to smush them in. Okay. My goodness. That's where I need a radio up here. So when I'm designing. These guys keep popping up. You're not working with me. Work a little better, would you? Would you work with me? Like, we want to do what we want to do. You could do something where, like, you just mix these in with some resin and then pour it into a mold. That would be really cool. I got them though for more this kind of stuff. So I just about went complete willy-nilly. Complete random. Look at that, I grabbed 2 yellows. I'll do one here. Hopefully the UV resin is also light enough that even as we build these up, they're going to be okay. And not too heavy. Because these flowers weigh nothing, so that I'm not worried about. It's more just the weight of the resin. But I think the resin isn't going to be that heavy, even once we get it. Like I said, again, I'm not thinking about which one I'm doing, what color I'm doing. I see it, I see one, and I'm adding. And I know I gotta come back over to this other one and do a white. And then I'd seen that pink and I liked it. So I put it in. Actually, this pink I really like, and I'm gonna put him right here in the middle. I like that one. Now I gotta find a few more of those pink ones. Let's see. You're really cute. Oh, okay. Are you gonna, oh, this guy needs to go to the bottom. He's stuck in my resin. Okay, we'll keep him there. We'll add a little red up here. I got some resin on my tweezers, and so now he's sticking. And I just am taking a paper towel to wipe that UV resin off. You could use a little, if you needed to, you could use a little alcohol and just rubbing alcohol to clean up, just like I use for cleaning up my silicone things. But honestly, it's not a necessary. That's a pink one, but he's really a cute one. Okay, pink. Like, I gotta catch my one side up over here because I keep getting ahead. Green. What should I do as the last little color there? Very yellow. I know I said I'm not thinking about it, but that I thought about. Just so that I can proportionally counterbalance. Alright, now these ones I just started building the opposite direction, so the front is facing up, and that's just how I'm going to continue on with them, since that's what I started with. And yellow. They're so pretty. They're so cute. I just love these little flowers. That was a little funky. Like I said, there's kind of endless uses depending on what kind of look you're wanting. And you could do various things. That was just a piece of a blue one, so I'll have to find another just small piece. It doesn't have to be exact, of course, but so that's just a small blue flower. I like this color too. Okay, so I need to find a ladder. Okay, that works. Although it should be on this side. Okay. And that darker. Oh. You would think with all these that I'd be able to find the ones that I want. There's plenty in here, just it's not quite as dark, but yeah, it'll work. And then there's like this little white. Let's put you right here. Now, with my tweezers, I will tell you these are really sharp tweezers. I don't want to push them too deep into these molds because you could damage your mold for future uses. Okay. Cool. So we'll pull this one out, and I'm just going to pick this one up and slide it under. And now, if we look at these, I'm going to use my tweezers, but that's nice and hard, nice and solid. So we're going to do another layer. I might have to get my new bottle out. We'll see. And these ones, since we're doing from the back, I'm going to do clear for now for this round. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I had a green feather break off there, and it's on the red flower on that other one that I just finished. And I'm just going to leave him like that. I think it's just a natural piece of artwork. When you're doing things like this, you're going to have naturally some things occur that make little imperfections. And I think that that's okay, because that's art. Now, if it was like an imperfection of the resin were sharp, or concerning that somebody could get hurt from it or something like that, then yes, I would probably fix it. Or like there's a hole that looks funky, aesthetically looking, that I don't like, then that's gonna bug me for sure. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, not so much. So I have some diamond in the rough from Counterculture. And it's like a glitter, but it's real thick. That piece just went flying. And this is my front, so I gotta be careful to not cover my flowers. But I kind of wanted a little, just something in here. And I don't know if I like it now that I'm not liking it. So we're going to take those out. And that's how you experiment. And if you see something you don't like, you just go ahead and get it out. For some reason, I don't know if the light there was hitting that and it got really gooey. I have to get a new lighter for my workspace. This one's getting harder and harder to turn on. Oh, I might have burned a little bit of a flower. I definitely smell that. There's definitely this massive bubble under there. Like, I don't mind a couple little bubbles if they don't pop. Whatever. Okay. I'll move that out of the way. Might still use it. I don't know. We'll see. For now, I didn't want to add anything here. There's a little bubble. But every time I move, it gets bigger. I think there's like an air pocket in there. Okay. Good. Those are looking sweet too. So as you can see, timing wise, we get done kind of with one, another one comes out, almost perfect timing there. I'm just going pretty slow so that this resin can sink in between these flowers. Now, if we recall, the outside ones were building up on the back. So this is the back side. We can't see the front side yet. And then the center is being built front. It looked relatively good with no major bubbling, which is kind of wild. And what I meant by burnt a flower is I could smell it. Oh, I can see that one a little bit. I think that's going to add to the art on that one though. But I could smell it more than anything, so just gotta be careful. Okay, we're gonna try something a little different. Okay, so this is a genie's lamp. It's also a thicker glitter. And what I want to do is I just want to add little bits in this one in between our flowers. I don't want to dip a resined tweezers in my container. So putting some in a cup, and basically I am dipping the tweezers a little bit in the resin so that the flakes can go in between. Again though, I do have sharp tweezers that I'm using, so I'm just being conscious that I don't, I just popped a huge bubble, stab my actual mold, because that would ruin it. Because if you stab it, you will have that scratch or that stab. It's like non-repairable. So we don't want that. We'd like to be able to use our mold again. I'm trying to make sure I don't get any in the center ones. If I got a flake or two, I wouldn't be super worried. Because we might add some flakes to them. Hopefully I might just do that. As long as I don't cover the flowers, since that's going to be our front on them. But I think it'd be pretty to have just some of these kind of. Plus, if you have bubbles, then if you have something like this in amongst it, your eye is naturally not going to catch little imperfections like a bubble that might have popped up where you didn't maybe necessarily want it to be. Just because you've got these flakes and specks in there that make it different. I'm going to need a little more. A lot more. I didn't need all that, but I'm not putting it back in since I used my tweezers. And I ended up on a couple of the flowers, but it looks really cute and pretty natural, so I'm not gonna stress over that. Okay. Oh, look at these coming along. Squeezed a little too early, apparently. And I'll use a silicone tool to just clean that up. And then, of course, I'll probably, with these, because I've got some overage happening, I'm definitely going to probably have to do some sanding on them once they're fully cured up. And that's okay. I'm just going to take them and use it as if I had a cup of resin and just roll it on to the next over here. I might end up with enough to coat this guy. Oh, they're so cute. They're so pretty. The good thing is if I get any on this mat is from Counterculture DIY. One of the best things I bought from them besides their resin. I mean, honestly, anything I buy from them is really awesome, but this mat was definitely a splurge. I was like, man, it's about 45 or 50 bucks, and then of course you have shipping, so that's always a little bit painful, to be honest. And I was like, it's one of these things last year I really had been wanting. And my husband, he doesn't quite understand my crafting, or the hype of my crafting, I should say. It's like, why would you spend $50 on just a mat? And so then I would get in my head and go, yeah, why would I spend $50 on just a mat? I can use that for so much resin, or this supply, or that supply. Well, I'm telling y'all, if you're having that wonderment, stop wondering and go buy it, because it is worth every dang penny. And I put way too much. So this mold here, if you watch me do keychains, I use this to add extra, and I'll cure it up. So this one looks okay. I haven't overdone him, but I definitely overdid this one right here. because I went right in there, I'm going to try to just clean that up. Goodness. These guys I just overdid. So they're going to have some definite sanding happening. Big old bubble. Pop y'all. Like, poppity poppity pop. Get popped. Okay. So this mat though, where I was going with that. See, I get distracted because I got too much happening. Is you can see where I got UV resin on the mat right there. And I'm going to show you how we clean that up. Alright, put that under. Alrighty, let's clean this. So, rubbing alcohol. This container is from Walmart. I love the spout on it. I bought the actual alcohol from Amazon. Bought a big old case of it. And I just pour it into that container because I love it. So, put a little bit on where that was. With a paper towel. And no longer will that be sticky. This silicone mat cleans up so nicely. These are kind of curling. I was trying to kind of curl and not be flat. And whew, those are pointy. So we are going to have to do quite a few more layers probably. There's still lots in this container. It just takes me a minute or two to get it loose. Now what I might end up doing is, because I'm a little bit worried that it's going to roll like what it's doing now. It's rolling into this mold, the center part. So I think I'll do this layer pretty thin. And then I'm going to probably pop them out of the actual mold and finish them out of the mold because I don't want to end up with them fully connected. Especially because we built one backwards and one forward. Very thin in the center because I think I'm going to end up having extra roll. And if there's a thin layer, I'll be able to separate them. That's not a problem. But if it got too thick there, then I would have some serious issues. And I would rather not have that. Okay, let's pull these guys. So, you can see we definitely cured there. And that's okay. So these, oh, they're so nice. We just got to get a little bit more so that that's not sharp. And same with these backs. Like, we're getting close, but they're just still very sharp. So with these flowers, that might be the best, is to build it where you can see the front facing you. Just because, see, I'm going to do it again. I can't build these up without it overflowing. It might be better to do that. I'm too close to that machine. See how that's all gooey and globby now? We just ruined that UV resin right there because it was too close to my light and it was already trying to cure up. Yep, this one's doing the same, but if I don't mess with it too much, I might be able to save it. But there was a big old bubble. Okay. Here's the process. It is a process. That is for sure. And it's a slow process. I'll make a quick video, y'all. And this, it would be so quick and easy. Should have known. Should have known. That's okay. But they're so pretty. So pretty. Oh, I just love the shape of these. It's just really pretty. These ones have built up really nice to where they're doming now in the front, which is awesome. And so it's not running off the side as soon as I put resin on it, which is great. And that's what we would like to see. Of course, I missed a few bubbles. I do see a few that escaped me, and they're already cured, so that is just what it be. Alright, let's pop these back under. There. And then let's pop these out. Normally I'd put gloves on. Oh man, we might have done us a doozy. Maybe not. Let's stop working against it and work with it. What do y'all think? Yeah, these are still a little tacky, for sure. Okay, so I am going to put a glove on, just because fingerprints where these aren't fully cured, you'll end up dulling your piece if you don't have a glove on with your oils of your fingers. So I keep gloves in my workspace for this. Alrighty. Now, the fun part is we definitely have a seal. So I'm going to have this foam that I found, and I'm going to try to, that is not going to work. Y'all, what's my mantra? Every mistake is fixable. You just got to get creative. Well, folks, we be there. We be gonna have to get creative. This one, I could just leave it as this massive earring, but I don't like that. Let's see if this one's a little better. Ooh, looky there. So this is fixable. Totally fixable, because I just need to clean that up with my Dremel. That is doable. And y'all, look at that. Because we built this one backwards, that's the front. The back is so rough, but the front is gorgeous. I love it. Yes, there's a lot of things that need done. There's a big old hole there that we got to fill in. We're going to have to drill out our hole. We're going to have to clean up our edges. But I do love it. And I think, well, with this one, I got to be a little bit more of a brute, but it is really sealed. And I'm afraid if I get too crazy, I'll start to break this big earring, because it is pretty sealed. I have one other thought. They're too big to get in there. Just kidding. course it will. There will be a way. We're making it, you know, just very, very slow. Should we just leave it like that? I don't think that works. Oh, there we go. Yay. Okay, so now we can definitely clean this up. So here's the front. I'm going to get both of these. Here's the front side because we were building those back to front being up. So they're really pretty. They definitely need cleanup, of course. And we've got to dome them. I'm going to try to make this doodad a little flatter. Ooh, he's trying to break right here, but once I've finished doming the backside, I think he'll be okay. And I think that was just the stress of me pulling that out. Okay. Now these ones we did back side to front, so we were looking at this side. As you can see, I forgot I've turned my camera so it's better for y'all. So this would be our front side. And then, so I don't have to turn my hand so awkward. This would be the, oh, excuse me. Throw it at myself. Okay, so this is the side that we were working on. So this would be the back side. And then this would be the front side. Now, some oils, some just from us messing with them, got banged up, but that will be done with a dome on it and it will be beautiful. So I love that. Let me put this knife away so that I don't end up slicing myself. Okay. Whew. That's fun. Alrighty, let's look at these. Since I have gloves on, I feel confident that I can pull them off. So, a little bit dull on this side. Oh, I know what it did. It picked up my fingerprint from the tape. Well, I'm going to have to dome that and hope that that goes away. Otherwise, these will be mine because it has literally my fingerprint on them. They're really pretty, so I wouldn't be totally devastated. Definitely have some cleanup. This resin's too thick. I'm going to have to sand it down. And we need to do another dome. I have a sharp piece there, but that's okay. Again, fixable. And this is not easy to do in gloves, by the way. So here's this one. So pretty. It is a little foggy. That's just the back side where the tape. So when we clean that up, I'll buff it and then clean that up and put a layer of resin on it. Now these ones I think are going to be a little bit more challenging with issues. As you can see, we are not within the lines. We didn't color between the lines, y'all, but that's okay. That will clean up. Truthfully, once it hardens a little bit more, I might just be able to pop it right off or cut it off. But sanding won't take me long to get those chunks off. Again, the backside does need to be cleaned up. This is actually, these ones, the way we were building them, this is our front. So they're really pretty. What I would like to do as we finish getting this backside cleaned up, I'll probably add some of the flakes just because I think that just gives a really pretty look, especially on those where there's a lot going on. I don't know if I'll add any on these just because I think the simplicity of those three colors is so pretty. And normally I try to save my tape, but this tape has seen its time just from these projects, and I just sealed it to that tray. And with gloves, I cannot get unstuck. So, okay, here's the back side. Looking all right. but I promise it will be fine. And then this is the front side, which once I clean that up, it's going to be so pretty. So, definitely have some issues, but all fixable issues, which is always good. As I always say, my mantra, everything is fixable. You just got to get creative. Before I sign off on this round, I am going to throw this in here and run it just because I put that extra resin on there. Also, while I have my gloves on, I'm going to do just a quick cleanup. So my lid, and then I had my paper towels over here that I was wiping all that gunk on. I'm going to put just a little bit of alcohol on a corner, and I'm going to wipe the tools that I was using just so that they're not sticky from any residue. Silicone brushes, best invention, especially with UV resin. There's a hair on here. There it goes. Okay. Throw those away. There's really no cleanup for this mold. Next time I use it, obviously, I'll do that tape routine again. But I'm not going to worry about it because it's going to go in a drawer and it's probably going to get dusty and dirty. I don't want to clean it twice. So we'll put it away. Lid's on. I'm going to keep that one out in the workspace. This one I'm going to put away since I didn't like how it was looking. Off camera, I will clean up all my flowers that I decided to just sparse everywhere. And then next time, my goal is to work on cleaning these guys up, getting the edges done, and adding a few more layers and getting them ready to put the hardware on. So this will probably end up being a 3-part series for these. And then I know that people really are liking the coasters that I did and the pours. As soon as we get some warmer weather here, I definitely will do more pours like that. I know when I was starting out in resin, I just loved watching those. So, and seeing what other crafters are doing. So I definitely will do more of like coaster pours, tray pours, things like that. It's just that the weather's not workable right now with it. I could put a heater in here, and I might at some point, but right now I've got plenty of ideas with our UV resin. So we're just going to keep going with the UV resin, and we might play around with some clay earrings in the future too. If there's something particular you want to see, hit me up on socials, on the YouTube. You can comment, post what you would love to see me work on or do, and I'll definitely try to include that in as well. I am going to let these sit here. I'm not touching them a ton, but I'm just trying to move them into the spot. I'm going to let them sit overnight before I try to start any of my sanding, because they definitely need to get harder before I can do all that. Hope y'all are enjoying these series. I know that I enjoy the crafting. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday season, safe new year, and we will see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.